What's up, YouTube? It's Link Legend Russ, and today I'm here for another Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing video. As you can see here, I finally got my Resident Evil Generations Pack for Nintendo Switch 2. For those that don't know, the Generations Pack for Resident Evil includes Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, and Resident Evil 9, aka Resident Evil Requiem. I will say Target is notorious for being ass at pre-orders shipping on release. This did not ship until, I want to say, at least 5 days after release. Like, I know better than really pre-ordering from Target like I used to. The only reason I pre-ordered with Target is because Target back in January of this year, they had a deal where you spend $100 on Nintendo Switch games and you get $30 off. And I did the cancel buy trick where you order something along with whatever the main item is that you ordered, and I got this for like, what was it, like $64. So let's go ahead and get into this unboxing and see what we got. So first thing up, another thing, Target really sucks ass because they didn't even ship this in a box. So honestly, like I said, I hope there ain't like too much damage on this, because even though I'm not going to keep it sealed, it does suck that like they didn't even ship it in a box. But I'm not going to complain because I'm glad to have gotten this. So alrighty, so this is what we got. Almost dropped it. So Resident Evil Generations Pack, game key cards. Now I know for a lot of people, obviously it sucks that these games are game key cards. I'm sure this would have been a way better deal for a lot of people if it wasn't game key cards. But I still think for $80 retail, $89.99 retail, I still think this is a really great deal. And considering that this game, at least at the time of this video, has been basically almost like sold out, and every time it gets like restocked, it's just like it sells out automatically, just goes to show that Capcom did really well with this game in particular, and that in this case for the Switch 2 fans, that they were willing to bundle in Resident Evil 7 and 8 with their newest release for this. So ordinarily for this deal, it would be like Resident Evil 7 and 8 are $10, and then $10 each, and then you still pay, the $69.99 for the regular price of the standard copy of Resident Evil Requiem. However, for me, because I got it for like $64, each game is like $16. So yeah, so I do apologize if you hear my dog barking in the background. But Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition is 25 gigabytes. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition is 30. And then it says Resident Evil Requiem is 30 gigabytes. So, like I said, these are some hefty games. So, as I already mentioned, these games are already on Switch. Now, I should reiterate real quick, too, before getting into the unboxing. And I know a lot of people are going to get upset me taking too long. Resident Evil 7 and 8 were technically on Nintendo Switch, caveat via cloud gaming. So, really, they wasn't on Switch. But with them being game key cards, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to open it up. But yes, please let me know, anybody that played these games on the other systems. Let me know personally anything I should watch out for. I can't sit here and say I played 7 and 8, but I'm familiar with 7 and 8. So at the very least on those games, I know that everything is good. Now look, now this is really nice. So like I said, this is 9, 8, and 7. Okay, go ahead and slide these out. So it's like I don't know if it's like a compendium, and I'm trying to figure out what this deal is reminding me of, because I know that I bought something similar not that long ago, maybe a little bit long ago, where it's like it came with a couple games. Maybe I'm thinking, and I don't own it, but maybe I'm thinking of the Bayonetta Collector Edition. I know that is an example of this. Another one I'm thinking about, but I don't own, is what is it? The Ace Attorney series. I think there was like something like that for these. So As you can see here, here goes the games right there. Now, I do think, like, in the future, like, you probably, like, these games, especially mostly these two, they'll be rare in the sense of, like, give it some time and you'd be, like, if we, like, extremely lucky if, like, there's a pre-owned SKU at GameStop for these. Now, if someone actually trades these in, I'll be generally surprised. But what I'm saying is that I'm sure, like, in the near future, give it like 6 months or so, there'll definitely be SKUs for them. And the best way to know, especially, is this because there's no barcode for these games, because this is technically not that different, but also different than the normal standard copies. So if you go to GameStop and you get this you get Resident Evil Requiem pre-owned, and it doesn't have the QR code, that's because it was part of this Generations pack. So let's go ahead and get started with these. So Fear Comes Home, Resident Evil Returns is the most immersive and visual experience yet, where unimaginable horrors await an abandoned Baker estate. All right. So it says it includes Resident Evil 7 and the following add-ons: The End of Zoe and Not a Hero. Okay. Resident Evil 8, Return to the Village. Return to the Village with the Gold Edition featuring the full game and the Winter's expansion with all new content. Third-person mode, the Missionary, additional orders, and Shadow of Rose. Okay, and then it says it includes Shadow Wolf outfit, Mr. Raccoon, Weapon Charm, Survival Resource Pack, and Trauma Pack. All right. And Resident Evil 9. Requiem for the Dead, Nightmare for the Living. Prepare to escape death in a heart-stopping experience that will chill you to your core. And, oh, by the way, all these games are one player in TV, tabletop, and handheld mode. So let's go ahead and get these opened up. But yeah, definitely let me know personally, out of all these games, especially once you beat Resident Evil 9, let me know out of these games here, which one is your favorite. Okay, so there is no codes or anything. I did want to make sure there wasn't anything with it, but there is some inside art. So real briefly, this is what we got. So it's nice that they even included some inside art at the very least with these games, because like I said, even though they are game key cards, I do feel like this is a really good deal. So definitely let me know. Once again, I have to reiterate it, which one of these games is your favorite, if you have a favorite. And I do thoroughly believe that in the near future that when 1, 2, and I think it's either 3 or 4, whatever ones they got a remake beforehand, they will eventually come over to Switch too. I thoroughly believe that with these games that at the bare minimum there will be another Generations pack, basically. I would be almost surprised if it isn't one, but we will just have to see with that. But if anyone definitely wants to get it, because they're making it super limited, kind of like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, you want to definitely get around to doing that. So here we go. Let me show off the inside art with this one. Now, I can't sit here and say I'm going to play these games today knowing everything, because I did get my Pokemon Poketokia pre-order from the Pokemon Center. I admit it came same day, because this is the same day, or the next day actually, for it. I'm just getting around to actually checking everything. So I'm glad to have the weekend off at my in real life job. So real quick, every time you put a game key card in, you always get this notification. So there goes the game icon for that. But yeah, definitely let me know personally about that. But I think I'm going to play Pokemon first. That's the one I want to play more. Like I said, if this had came when it was supposed to come out, I would have played it day one. But, you know, you got 3 games here. So, got a lot going on here. So, I do apologize about my dog. I guess he got to go walking. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this video out here. But this is Link Legend Russ signing out. And as always say, have a nice day. Have a good one, in peace.